Welcome to the Pirate Broadcast, where we interview interesting people doing interesting things, where you can expand your connections, your community. Kindness is cool and smiles are free. And let's get this party started. And it's another beautiful day for a Pirate Broadcast. And we want to bring you amazing, interesting people that are doing some great things. And today we have Dr. Reyzan Shali. How are you, my friend? How are you doing today?
I'm very good. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me, Russ.
Well, we were introduced with Ryan, and Ryan Foland is a pirate, and he said, "Hey, you should have Dr. Shali on the show and talk about some medical things and a couple of eating, exercise, and engagement." And I thought that it would be a wonderful topic to discuss as we're going into 2021. And there's so many things out there. And thank you so much, first of all, for being in the medical field and helping so many other people out there. And maybe if you could talk us through the story about how you became a doctor and what was your interest in that journey, because it's not a simple one.
So I'm originally Kurdish from the Kurdistan region of Iraq. I grew up in Baghdad. I finished medical school in Baghdad. But prior to the reason why I went into medical school is because there were other physicians in the family that they were a little older than me. So I used to look up to them, and I used to be impressed by their wealth of knowledge and their ability to help people. I mean, someone would come to them feeling very sick, and then a couple of days later, with their help, they're feeling 100% better. So I was always impressed by their ability to be there to help someone, um, and to make someone feel better. So I went to medical school, graduated medical school, but all throughout growing up, where I grew up, I felt very limited, very boxed, kind of left in a small, tight box. I didn't feel I was able to say whatever I wanted to say or express my opinions freely. I wasn't allowed to play sports because I was always told girls don't play sports, meaning I felt many limitations for
Mm-hmm.
me. So I decided to leave. And I had the will and desire to leave, and I made it all the way to the US and did my residency and internship in Michigan, did my board certification, and then my husband wanted to move to California because he had some family over there. So we ended up relocating to California. I started my practice in San Diego area, and I've been here since then. It's a beautiful city.
Yeah, San Diego's wonderful. I love San Diego. There's so many things in the medical field that are challenging in terms of, just being able to go through the process and insurance and, some of the, what I consider challenges. And yet there's so many amazing doctors that are out there doing such great work and helping so many people. And it's really nice to be able to say, um, I make a difference. And it sounds like you're the type of doctor that, has an opportunity to make a difference and care about other people. So what is it that you see in the medical field that makes a difference really with the most people right now with COVID and some of the challenges we have going on with the pandemic? What are some of the things that you've noticed and you've taken and made part of your routine in terms of helping people?
So actually, what you just mentioned, the part about insurance coverage and all that, it's probably the most difficult part of the job. Meaning
Yeah.
figuring out what's covered for this patient, what's not covered. It's a total heartbreak when you have an asthma patient who needs an inhaler, but the inhaler is not covered and it's $400, and no one can afford that. So
Yeah.
that's the most difficult part of the job, and kind of navigating through all these difficulties is can be a nightmare sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, but we have to do it. We have to try our best to help patients. What I've been focusing on, probably more so in 2020, just because of everything we've gone through, is I talk about a lot of my three E's. The E's are eating, exercise, and engagement. Eating, we all love food. I love food. We gotta promote food, but I promote the right kind of food and the right kind of eating. I
Tell
grew up
us
with
more.
a. I'm sorry.
Tell us more about that. The right
So I
kind of
grew
food.
up with a kind of a Mediterranean type of food,
Uh-huh.
which is mostly plant based, lots of vegetables. The vegetable is usually the main star of the dish. I still remember my mom always talking about, I have zucchini. I'm going to make zucchini for lunch and dinner today. And she, at the time, I didn't appreciate it because she totally abused the zucchini. But now I see the magic behind it. So I grew up with that kind of diet. So when I came to the US, the diet was totally different, meaning there's a lot of processed food, there's a lot of meat and meat products, and not a whole lot of colorful veggies and
Yeah.
fruits. So the diet was a bit of an adjustment to me. So I've always talked about diet and I've always promoted the Mediterranean diet, but I've been promoting it more and more lately because of everything we're going through. Meaning, not only Mediterranean diet helps overall health, but it also helps immunity. And I've
Hmm.
been playing this game with my boys, who I have an 18-year-old and a 16-year-old, so they're not big fans of fruits and veggies. They'd rather eat pizza all day long. But I cut up a bunch of vegetables for them, cut up a bunch of fruits for them, and take it to their rooms while they're doing their homework. And I tell them, listen, there's a pandemic out there. You need your immune system to work very good. So and for them, it's been working, meaning they eat it every day. But that's what I've been talking mostly about this past year when it comes to diet. You wanna make the vegetable the main star of your meal. You want
Yeah.
to have at least half your plate filled with colorful vegetables, and the more colors, the better. Um, and then the exercise is, I think, is a must for all of us. We all have struggled exercising in 2020 because we can't go to the gym. I used to play tennis with a good friend of mine, and I lost my tennis partner because she doesn't want to be out there, obviously, with what's going on.
Right.
But we have to find a way to exercise. So this past year, I actually picked up Zumba, and I'm loving it. I have a dog who's asleep right now, but he goes on walks every day. We have to take him on walks. So exercise is a must, and I've noticed on if I don't exercise for 2 days in a row, I am stiff the third day. My joints are stiff.
Hmm.
My knees are hurting. Everything feels sluggish. So exercise is a must for all of us, and we can be creative. Like I said, I was not able to do tennis. I was not able to go to the gym, so I picked up Zumba at home.
Yeah.
Um, I go on walks with the dog or with a family member. Um, and then the third E is engagement. I come from a big family. I'm the youngest of nine, and we are very tight. And I have wonderful friends around me here in San Diego. And if I'm not engaged with them, I really think mentally I would not be in a good place. Um, I create content. I write for my column at Thrive Global, and a lot of my content comes from suggestion from friends and family.
Mm.
Um, Meaning, for example, I was talking to my sisters one day about how they can easily fall asleep and stay asleep, and I always struggle with sleep. And then one of them suggested, they said, why don't you write an article about sleep? And I did. I did. So the three E's, the eating and the exercise and the engagement, have been main focus of me talking to people, to my patients, to my friends, to my community, to you. Um, I'm hoping that will make a difference.
Well, it makes a huge difference, and I think people minimize some of the importance of what this simple process can do for their lives because I know, I have a friend that swears, he goes, the garden is the pharmacy. And, just eating clean and healthy and, raw food and fresh vegetables and, just change your diet can make a difference in your attitude. It can make a difference in how you feel. It can make a difference in your, just how you look at things. And it does have a difference. It does have an impact. And I've been working really hard to eat more, more effectively for my body. And when I eat something that's not really in alignment with what I need, I can tell. And it's only because I've been practicing eating, and juicing and eating fruit and vegetables and more and less processed food. And it's really, I used to have a garden and I had a sustainable farm and, a lot of, and you get in and out of habits, you evolve, and depending on life and what your circumstances are, you can change and evolve out of good habits into bad habits or habits that aren't productive for you. So it's a good reminder to be able to insert that back in our life. And as far as exercise go, I broke my hip this year, this 2020. It's like I needed something else, right?
I'm sorry.
And so biking, I go out and I'll just get, I'll get stuck in my head or something like that. And I'll just go out and take a ride around the block or, a couple of miles here and there. And it just makes life so much better. It gives me a new perspective. It, just kind of, it enhances my day and my attitude and everything around it. And it's just amazing what just a little change and a little shift does. You don't have to make a big, huge effort of it. Just go outside and walk around and just get some fresh air. Do something simple. It doesn't really take a whole lot. So,
the kind of walks I enjoy the most for me is when I go very early in the morning, like earlier than this time. And it's just me. I don't even take the dog with me sometimes because I don't want to worry about him pulling me so hard, dislocating my shoulder when he sees another puppy. So I go on walks sometimes, short walks, 25, 35 minutes walk just by myself. Me, my thoughts, my dreams, my inspirations, my regrets. I take all that with me in the walk, and I come back feeling a little refreshed, a little less heavy, meaning my thoughts feel a little less intense, I guess what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. I want to say hi to a few people in the room here. Wendy Gahuli, you are here. Good morning. Thank you so much for being here. She's doing some amazing things online with pottery. So engagement, this being in the moment with your art and doing some great things. Mike Baker in from the Florida coast. Thank you so much for being here. And then we got Russ Hedge up early in the morning. He's in Oregon, creating some good stuff. Russ has invited me onto his show. I think it's Wednesday, Russ, at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time in the morning. We're going to be talking about some amazing things on Wednesday, right after my show. And then Mike Baker is immunity is top efficiency. Absolutely. And that's a great point. It is an efficiency. And then exercise releases BDNF, which supports hippocampal growth. Chandra Higginbotham, she's in the medical field in Houston. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for sharing that information, because that's important for us to understand. Is there is a cause and effect.
Absolutely. And if we focus on the main core of daily living, which is eating healthy, staying active, and staying engaged with friends and family, and kind of excluding the negative friends and family, meaning staying engaged with the people who share our value, people who can understand, who can be just as kind as you can be, who can be just as thoughtful as you can be, and kind of getting rid of the negative people, let's say, but staying engaged with the community, staying active and keeping your joints flexible, And obviously, like I said, the diet. I talk about diet all day long because I really think it can solve many, many, many health problems. Many, many health problems.
Do you have a favorite vegetable?
You know, it's funny because I make a special kind of salad for. Well, it's not a special, but I like a salad for me that is heavily loaded in all vegetables. It's hard for me to pick which vegetable I like. I really like. I do like zucchini nowadays, even though when I was growing up, I hated zucchini.
You had
But
an aversion to it growing up, but now you like it.
I mean, like I said, she totally, and she would make, because we're a big family, we're a family
Uh,
of nine, so she would make big pots of food. The pot would be all zucchini with a little bit of tomato and a little bit of onions. To me, at that point, was not appetizing. Meaning, I was looking for
yeah,
something
yeah,
fancy. But like I said, nowadays I see the magic in it. I think it's beautiful to have your plate filled with vegetable
yeah,
or different vegetables. And again, the more color you add, the better, because these colors, they represent what we call phytochemicals, meaning healthy chemicals, healthy plant-based chemicals. And the more colors you add, the more phytochemicals you add. And the
yeah,
more they kind of magically work together inside the human body to do whatever they need to do, meaning to help your immune system, help your heart, help your digestive system. Um, so yeah, I like I said, I have patients who come to me every day with certain complaints, and I go back to the diet. Well, what do you eat for breakfast, or what do you eat for lunch, and what do you eat for dinner? And I realize that they're not adding any vegetable to their diet. So yeah, if we focus on those simple things,
yeah,
I think we can make a big difference for us and the whole community.
yeah. Do you believe that different people and their bodies require different types of diets, or is it fairly universal? I mean, a good practice is eating vegetables. I mean, that's
That's a
to
good
me that
practice.
makes a lot of sense. That's logical. And there's a lot of people that or there's a a raw food diet. I have friends that have been on the raw food diet, and for immunity and also inflammation, uh,
But
and different things like that. It seems like either a fad or it might come in passing, or it might be something for a specific reason. But overall, just eating uh, wisely, I think is a good practice.
well, the Mediterranean diet is a kind of a raw food diet, except the meat part. But
Hmm.
they eat vegetable in most cases, not always, but in most cases they eat their vegetables raw. And actually, eating vegetables raw is better than cooking it, because when you cook it and boil it, and you get rid of some of the fiber in it, which is obviously very valuable.
Hmm.
Um, so eating raw fruits and vegetables is a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'm a big fan of raw meat. I myself have switched to plant based this past year, and I'm happy that I switched to plant based.
Hmm.
But I'm not asking anybody to be on a diet that deprives them of everything. That's why when I talk about Mediterranean diet, I promote it all the time, because there is no deprivation, meaning they drink a glass of wine every now and then. They eat red meat maybe once a month or so. They eat fish a lot because they live by the Mediterranean
Yeah.
Sea. So there is there's no deprivation, which I promote. Meaning, if we deprive ourselves, then we're gonna not stick with the diet. Um, but again, the main the meal is based or built based on a vegetable, or a number of vegetables, which I'm hoping we can
Yeah.
get
We
to
should be
that.
able to find enough vegetables around
We
to.
should, we should. You know,
I mean,
if I
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, if I can get people to start with one thing, which is quitting the heavily processed food like bacon.
Yes.
If I can just get people to quit bacon, just that one thing, quit bacon, then I'll I'll sleep at night better. It's funny because friends of mine are telling me it's not going to happen in this lifetime. I say, well, then I'll try next lifetime to get people to quit bacon. And they say,
Exactly.
well, because you never tried bacon, you don't know how good it is, and that's true. I've never tried it, and I'm not willing to try it, but I'm positive we can quit it.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone can change a habit. It doesn't really impact it, that big. And the fact also is once you change something like that, just small changes incrementally, it really makes a difference in your outcome and how you feel. I mean, that's been my experience.
Oh, absolutely,
It,
absolutely. Like I
yeah.
said, if I don't eat good for a couple of days, if I don't exercise for a couple of days, it rains. Sorry, someone is calling me. I had to. Sorry. Hello?
Yep. I'm here.
Hello?
You're here.
I think
Can
I
you hear
lost you
me?
for a second, Russ.
Oh, okay. Are you back?
We're back.
We're back. We're back. Oh, she just dropped. We're talking to Dr. Reyzan Shali about the 3 E's: eating, engagement, and exercise. And we're talking about vegetables, and we're talking about doing some amazing things with vegetables. And here she comes back again. We're back again. We're back again.
Yes, we are. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I don't know what happened.
The whole purpose of the pirate broadcast is we can do what we want because we're pirates now.
We're
So
pirates.
it's
We
okay.
don't follow rules.
We don't follow rules, and we don't need permission. So, one of the beautiful things about this is the idea that we have an opportunity to make a difference in our own lives and an impact with 3 simple changes. Changing our eating habits, even so slightly. Just don't don't grab the quick burger on the way home. Just grab some vegetables, chop it up, make a quick salad. It's really simple. And then also just exercise. What I love to do, it's a simple practice, and I've been doing it for years, is I park as far away out in the parking lot as I can when I go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
And then I'll grab a few carts on the way in.
Yeah.
And it's just like you do something good, you get a walk in, and it's really made a difference. You're not walking a lot, however, and you want to limit yourself to the grocery stores these days. However, that's a simple step that you can move to get a few more steps in your day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Take the stairs, not the elevator.
Take the stairs, not the elevator. All of these things they add up a little bit, but over time, it makes a huge difference. And so, and engagement. Let's talk a little bit more about engagement, because I want to say hello to a few people here. Lori Scott, she's going to be she's a pirate. She's going to be on the show again this week. Good morning, Lori. How are you doing? And then Wendy throws us hearts. She says, "Thank you so much."
Thank you, Wendy.
I'm excited about tomorrow. My turn to visit the pirate community.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely. And Patrick says good morning. High dives in from Houston. Good morning, fellow pirates. And then Wendy says we plant a garden and neighborhood kids get to water and watch it grow.
Oh, that
is awesome.
That is
fantastic.
Yeah.
So let's talk about engagement. The pirate community is pretty engaged, and I think that adds. And I think the key ingredient that you mentioned is sometimes we have to remove people that don't see the joy in life. Yeah. Everything's a problem. Everything's a challenge. Everything's, doom and gloom. And it just does not bring energy to the room. And I know that we have these people that we actually probably know. And it's unfortunate that we sometimes have to remove them from our lives, or at least reduce our exposure if they're family members. Absolutely. Or encourage them to see a different way. So how do we navigate through that? How do you navigate through that?
It took me years, by the way. It took me years to figure that out, meaning it's not easy to it's not easy to figure out it's not easy to figure out people, meaning I personally have not had good judgment of people throughout the years, and made some bad friendships, and took me years to get rid of those bad friendships. But after all these years, I kind of have a sense of if a person is going to be negative right from the get-go, right from the beginning, I don't need that. Meaning it already, there's already so much in the world, so much negativity. I don't need to add more or invite more to my
Hmm.
life, because it just drains my energy and sucks my energy. So once I encounter negativity, I just step back, meaning I don't engage. I
Yeah.
engage more, I choose to engage with people I want to engage with, meaning I choose to engage with my family, with my friends, the ones I feel good to be around. I feel positive to be around. I feel kind of a little uplifted when I'm around them. And otherwise, other people, no, no, I stay away.
And that's great advice, because I know there have been times in my life where hanging out with the wrong people diminish my, they just almost, they suck the energy. They're energy vampires.
Yes, that's the right description. They're energy vampires, meaning they suck your energy, and you feel after you go and chat with them for a few minutes, you feel just absolutely drained. Um,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, I want to mention also people can reach you. Is this the correct website?
yes, yes.
Now you're writing. Do you have a book coming out, or
I
anything that's going to be happening? Tell
I
us a
do
little
have a
bit about
book.
that.
I do have a book. It's called Teaming Up Against Cancer. It's a book that I wrote to in dedication for my parents. Unfortunately, I lost both my parents to cancer. My dad was a heavy smoker, and he eventually ended up dying of lung cancer. So the book talks about uh, all that, meaning my experience watching my dad get sick and how
Mm,
devastating that was, and the link between smoking and cancer. Um, and then a good chapter of the book is about diet, which is the Mediterranean diet, because science has proven to us that the Mediterranean diet and healthy diet can prevent many cancers. And
yeah,
even if you end up with cancer, the healthy diet helps you recover and handle the treatment better. Meaning it's good to be on a good diet to prevent. And if you're, unfortunately, if you still end up with cancer, good diet will help you recover better.
yeah.
So because a good chapter of the book was about the Mediterranean diet, I'm planning or I'm hoping that my next book will be all about the Mediterranean diet. I already have the chapters laid out in my head. There's going to be a chapter about the Mediterranean diet and bone health, Mediterranean diet heart health, Mediterranean diet immune health. So that's going to be my next. That's in my vision board.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I look forward to watching you grow and evolve as a pirate now. And anytime you release something like that, come back and share it with the community. I would love to have you on again, and make sure that we have an opportunity to share this word, and the work that you're doing, and also the subject is really important, I think, to share, especially now. People need their immunity. They need to stay healthy. They need to get healthy again. And, what better way than to enjoy some great fruits and vegetables, and,
Absolutely.
toss a
Absolutely.
salad here and there, and maybe
Absolutely.
go for a
Absolutely.
walk and do some things. It doesn't take a lot. So
It
I
doesn't
just
take a
really,
lot. Yeah.
yeah. Well,
It's a
thank you so
simple
much.
life.
It's a simple life, and the less stress we have, the better off we're going to be.
Oh yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
and we don't have time today. I know a friend of mine. He says, if look at it this way, if your great grandmother didn't make it, then you shouldn't be eating it either.
That's
and,
true.
so, and it's like, yeah, there's no processed food back then,
There
so,
was no processed food back then.
and
There
they
was no,
grew a garden because that's how they
yes,
had to eat.
yes,
And
yes. And
meat
you
was
go grab
precious.
the, yeah, you go grab the vegetable from the garden and you bring it home. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's how
Absolutely.
my grandfather, he was really proud of his. The only thing that I have a challenge with is I'm not a huge fan of tomatoes, fresh tomatoes out of the
Yeah.
garden, you know, and it's just me, but
Well,
that's the only that's the only thing
there,
I.
yeah. The
Yeah.
good thing is there are so many different types of fruits and vegetables. If you don't like one thing, there are many other options.
Well, I have had my share of zucchini.
Funny you mentioned, because my son doesn't like tomatoes either. So when I make the salad for him, I make it with no tomatoes.
Yeah, well, somebody said that it was nightshade vegetables, so
Is it?
I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know. But thank you so much for being here, Dr. Shali. I thank you so much for the opportunity to have this conversation and share a few nuggets of knowledge with people. And hopefully it'll inspire and encourage others to maybe just shift their habit a little bit, maybe walk a little more, engage with positive people in a long, in the future, and just really encourage others to help, make the life a better place to live.
Yeah.
So
We are a community, so we got to take care of each other. Absolutely.
absolutely. Well, thank you so much. And we look forward to the next adventure when you come on board and walk us through your books and your adventures in what you're doing next. So thank you
Thank
so
you
much
very
for
much,
being here.
Russ. Thank you for having me.
And everybody, thank you so much for being on the Pirate Broadcast. Please like, comment, and share this content to somebody that needs it. I know there's somebody out there that is searching for an answer or a direction that would be more than happy to receive this kind of information. You could do all the socials, the YouTube, everything else that's going along with that. And also like and subscribe to the podcast and the YouTube channel, because it's really the way we grow and share. And this positive information is always valuable to people around. So, Dr. Shali, thank you so much, because kindness is cool and smiles are free.
Yeah.
And I want you to enjoy the day.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me, Russ.
Take care.
Bye.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining the Pirate Broadcast. If you found this content valuable, please like, comment, and share it across your social media channels. I would love the opportunity to help others grow in their business. The Pirate Syndicate is a platform where you show up, we produce the show. It's that easy. If you want to be seen, be heard, and be talked about, join the Pirate Syndicate today.